You are here, you did not leave, and that matters more than you realize. Pause right now and stay with this moment. Do not scroll away. Do not tell yourself you will come back later. I am speaking to you in this moment of urgency because your heart is being stirred in a meaningful way, and it will not come in the same way again. You did not arrive here without purpose. Something within you chose to stay, and that choice was not random. Many turned away earlier. Many ignored the quiet stirring in their heart, the gentle pull they could not explain. But you are still here. That is why I am speaking to you now. There is a narrowing taking place, a critical window where attention matters. That sense of alertness may be your heart becoming aware that something meaningful is unfolding. Listen carefully, my beloved. The silence you walked through was not neglect. The waiting you endured was not rejection. The uncertainty that surrounded you was not sent to break you. It was shaping you. I was not withholding from you. I was preparing you. Every prayer that seemed unanswered, every door that remained closed, every night you felt unseen, was working together, aligning you for this very moment. If you had come sooner, your heart would not have recognized what is happening now. If I had spoken before this moment, you would have heard the sound but missed the meaning. You are ready now, even in your weariness, especially in it. These words may resonate most deeply with the one who chose to stay when leaving felt easier, for the one who kept breathing when hope grew quiet. What felt like delay was doing a deeper work within you. Strength was being formed where no one could see it. As it is written, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles." Isaiah 40-31. You did not endure to be impressed by the outcome. You endured to be aligned for what comes next. And because you remained, your spirit can now receive what once would have passed right through you. You stayed when clarity was absent, when meaning felt distant, and that is why this word reaches you now. This is not merely one choice among many, but a moment of spiritual direction. There are no hidden doors behind it, and no side routes around it. What unfolds here must not be overlooked, because returning to old patterns only restores the weight you have been carrying. I speak this with care, not to unsettle you, but because love does not remain silent at moments like this. I see the weariness you carry beneath your composure. I see the body, the fear concealed behind endurance, the questions you never gave voice to, the sense of being confined in a place that no longer reflects who you are becoming. You have been enduring more than living, maintaining more than advancing. Now you stand at the threshold, unsure if you have anything left to give. Hear this clearly. What is required is not more effort. It is release. Not pressure, not self-proof. As it is written, "My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." 2 Corinthians 12-9. Control once guarded you, but it can no longer carry you forward. You learned to survive by gripping tightly, by planning for pain before it arrived. Yet what once shielded your heart now confines it. The way ahead opens when the hands loosen, and trust begins where striving ends. I am asking you now to ease your grip. Stop measuring what you might lose and see what has already slipped away by holding on. Peace has thinned. Joy has quieted. Your heart grew heavy from carrying what was never meant to rest on your shoulders. You were not asked to bear this alone. You were not meant to solve everything. You were never called to remain where you are shrinking. The way forward is open, but you cannot move while fear, bitterness, and control still weigh your hands. That is why this moment feels charged, not rushed, decisive. You cannot stay suspended between old patterns and new life. Change cannot enter where release is refused. Perfection is not required. Trust is. Trust enough to release what you can explain, so you can be guided into what you cannot yet see. Trust when the next step feels unclear. Trust that your needs are known more fully than you know them yourself. As it is written, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Listen closely. What feels like collapse is not destruction, it is clearing. What feels like loss is separation from what has held you back. What seems like an ending is the doorway you have been waiting for. Movement begins when the hands open. From this point on, things will not feel the same. The pressure will shift. The fog will thin. Clarity you have longed for will arrive quietly, never all at once, but enough for the next step. What matters now is response, not later, not when courage feels stronger, not when every detail is clear. Alignment in this moment is what breaks the cycle. If this is speaking to you, you may write Amen in the comments as a simple expression of agreement. And if someone you love has been carrying the same weight in silence, share this with them because they may need this moment too. Hear this with an open heart. Release the grip of yesterday. Release the urge to manage every outcome. Release the belief that pain is the price of worth. Let go of the load you have carried, the identity you have outgrown, the situation you cannot repair. As it is written, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3-5-6. This is not an erasing of who you are, it is guidance forward. You remained, you endured, and because you did, the way ahead is now visible. Do not fix your eyes on what is closing. Turn toward what is opening. What begins next is not a reward for effort, but the result of trust when it mattered most. You need to recognize this truth before anything else settles within you. You did not reach this edge by chance. This moment was not stumbled upon or found at random. You were led here step by step, even in seasons when you thought you were lost. Every confusing turn, every frustrating pause, every stretch that felt endless was shaping something deeper than you could see. You believed you were simply enduring time, but time was forming you. You thought you were waiting for answers, yet answers were waiting for you to be ready. This moment did not arrive unexpectedly. It was set in place, and you were carried into it with intention. I know how difficult it was to remain. I know how often you wanted to walk away, to stop listening, to stop hoping, to stop believing that staying would matter. I saw the quiet faith, the shortened prayers, the strength that felt borrowed rather than owned. You continued without recognition, without reassurance, without signs that made sense, and still you remained. That is not small. That is endurance, shaped in silence. That is faith breathing without visibility. As it is written, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. Many began alongside you, stirred by the same invitation. They trusted their own strength at first, confident they could finish. But when the path narrowed and comfort faded, they turned back. You did not. Even with a heavy heart, unanswered questions, and a rising cost, you stayed. And hear this clearly now. Your staying mattered. Your patience mattered. Your quiet faith mattered more than you know. You were not weak because you struggled. You were strong because you did not quit. You carried questions with no answers, disappointment without explanation, and hope that felt fragile in your hands. Every step you took under that weight was seen. You did not fail because you grew tired. You endured because you stayed. There were nights you lay awake unsure if you could continue, and mornings when the thought of the day drained you before it began. There were moments you wondered if remaining was wisdom or mistake. I was present in all of it. In the quiet whispers you doubted would be heard. In the silence when words ran out. When faith felt thin, like a single thread, it was held steady so it would not break. Let this settle now. You did not make it through this season by your strength alone. There were times when your strength was gone and yet you are still here. That is because you were carried. When your steps failed, you were lifted. When belief wavered, you were steadied. When you felt you were barely holding on, it was not your grip that kept you, it was the support beneath you. As it is written, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. Psalm 34-19. You were carried through choices you feared, delays you could not explain, losses you did not choose. through moments when you smiled outwardly but broke inwardly. You were not walking alone, even when it felt that way. More often than you realized, you were being held. This is why arriving here matters. You are not standing at this edge because you were strong enough. You are here because you trusted enough to continue. Even when that trust was quiet, even when it carried fear, endurance matters deeply, even more than loud displays of faith, and you endured. You may look back now and struggle to explain how you survived moments that should have undone you. The reason is not found in your ability, but in a presence that never left you. I was there, in the pauses, in the waiting, in the seasons when nothing seemed to change. Strength was forming where you could not feel it. You were learning to rely beyond outcomes, to trust beyond timelines, to rest beyond control. This edge is not a cliff meant to frighten you. It is a threshold meant to release you. You are not here because you failed, but because you finished what others abandoned. You stayed long enough for change to take root, long enough for your heart to be shaped rather than hardened. As it is written, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Philippians 1-6. I know how tired you are. I know how much it costs to hold on this long. But hear this clearly. You are not asked to carry yourself any further. The season of self-bearing is closing. The season of being led forward is beginning. What comes next will not require the same striving. It will require surrender, and surrender is lighter. You reach this place on purpose, not to exhaust you, but to change you. If you had arrived earlier, you would have tried to control what unfolds next. If you had come sooner, you would have leaned on yourself. Now you know the limits of your strength and the value of presence. Let that truth quiet the voice that says you barely made it. You did more than endure, you remained. And what opens next is only the beginning. I know how long this question has lived inside you, asked in frustration, whispered in surrender. Why did everything feel blocked? Why did doors stay shut despite effort, patience, and faith? Hear this without fear or self-blame. Those closures were not rejection, they were protection. What felt like delay was careful guarding over your life. Some paths looked promising, like answers waiting to end your struggle. But beyond them were weights your heart was not ready to carry, and outcomes that would have wounded you deeply. I did not close those doors to withhold good. I closed them to keep you safe. Protection rarely feels gentle. It often feels like restraint while others move ahead. I know how painful that was. I was never upset. I was standing in the doorway saying no because you were precious. There were moments you wanted to force progress, to outrun the waiting. Even then, you were restrained not to punish you, but to spare you. If movement had come earlier, the timing would have overwhelmed you. Wounds needed time to close. Fears needed softening. Worth still leaned on outcomes. I love you too much to give you success that would cost your peace. Unseen dangers were diverted. What you called missed chances were shields. Not every open door is sent by me. Delay taught discernment, listening for my voice instead of chasing urgency. The waiting stretched you, humbled you, and worked deeper than you knew. While others built quickly, your foundation was being built carefully so it would not crack under pressure. Stillness did what motion could not. It refined your desires, strengthened discernment, and clarified identity not by where you are going, but by who you are with. Even when you questioned me, you were held. Alignment was happening so that when the door opened, you could walk through whole. As it is written, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37-23. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. You were protected, prepared, and positioned. And now, as the season turns, you can see it. Every closed door was mercy, every delay was care, and every stretch of waiting was leading you here, ready, steadied, and anchored in trust. I know there was a kind of pain you could never fully explain, a weight not tied to clear losses or visible wounds. It settled quietly within you, pressing on your chest, slowing your thoughts, draining your strength even on days that seemed fine. You tried to name it, to reason through it, but language failed. That confusion was not weakness. It was your soul carrying something deeper than words. I saw the smiles you offered while heaviness grew inside. I saw you keep moving while questioning why exhaustion followed you without reason. That burden was real. It came from carrying what you were never meant to hold, alone buried disappointments, guarded hopes, prayers whispered when answers felt distant. You learned to appear strong without revealing how much it hurt. Yet you were never unseen. Not a single tear was meaningless. As it is written, Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? Psalm 56, Gahdeksan. That pain was not random. It refined you in ways comfort never could. It sharpened discernment, teaching you the difference between peace and excitement, truth and noise. You did not become weaker. You became more aware, more grounded, more honest about limits and sufficiency. None of it was wasted. Every restless night, every anxious thought, every quiet tear was gathered and shaped into something purposeful. The empathy you carry now, the patience you learned, the compassion that rises when others hurt, these were born there. This is not fragility. It is strength refined by love. Even in loneliness, you were held closer than you knew. The heaviness has completed its work. You are not defined by what wounded you, but by how you were formed through it. A quieter clarity is beginning, and you move forward lighter, not because the past is denied, but because it no longer needs to be carried. And in the midst of all this, there was a precise turning you could not see, a quiet shift in the unseen, where attention began to focus on you. No thunder marked it, no announcement broke the air, nothing dramatic changed outwardly. Yet everything moved inwardly. It happened in the very season you believed nothing was changing. When strength felt thin and hope had learned to whisper, you chose to remain without reassurance. You kept moving without clarity. You trusted without reward. That is when endurance spoke louder than words. Many begin with passion. Many believe when results come quickly. But movement begins when faith remains, after comfort is removed. Understand this clearly now. Endurance often becomes the place where movement begins. Not striving, not forcing. Endurance, the decision to stay when leaving would be easier. The willingness to trust when the path is hidden. That is what draws response. As it is written, He that endureth to the end shall be saved. Matthew 24-13. From that moment, the atmosphere around you began to shift. Old distractions lost their hold. Familiar places no longer fit. Restlessness grew not as impatience, but as preparation. You were not being led toward comfort. You were being led out of cycles and patterns that could no longer carry who you were becoming. Pressure increased because strength was forming within you. Clarity delayed because readiness was being completed. You were steadied in moments that could have overwhelmed you, restrained from choices that would have delayed what was next. Those were not losses, they were protection. This is not a season to settle. It is a season to rise. And rising does not always feel like excitement. Sometimes it feels like release. These moments decide direction, whether a soul moves forward or turns back. You are not being soothed now. You are being guided. Heavenly Father, I come before you in this quiet moment with an open heart. I release what I was never meant to carry and place every hidden burden into your hands. Teach me to trust where I cannot see, to rest where I once struggled, and to follow where you lead. Renew my strength where I am weary. Steady my heart where fear has lived, and guide my steps into the season you have prepared for me. I surrender my way to yours, believing you are faithful. If this moment resonated with you, take a breath, hold on to what you received here, and carry it forward into the days ahead.